In this program, we will discuss general outboard gearcase principles of operation, routine service, and normal maintenance procedures. Specific servicing procedures will be covered in another program as you perform the gearcase servicing project at your workbench. In the recreational outboard line, there are only about 10 different gearcase types. These gearcase types accommodate over 100 different models of engines. This means that the same gearcase type is used on many different horsepower outboards. In fact, in most cases, the same gearcase is used on a whole family or group of engines such as Johnson Silver Star and Evinrude Spitfire outboards. A wide selection of propellers are available to accommodate different horsepowers and anticipated loads. Most outboard gearcases have forward, neutral, and reverse shifting capabilities. However, 4 horsepower standard and smaller outboards either have forward and neutral shifting or are direct drive, meaning that they are in forward gear all the time. These models feature 360-degree steering to provide reverse operation. We will use a larger horsepower standard rotation gearcase to discuss principles of operation. However, most of the theory applies to all Evinrude and Johnson models 4 Deluxe through 300. The primary function of a gearcase is to transform rotating motion or power from the crankshaft into rotating motion of the propeller. All Evinrude and Johnson outboard gearcases are connected to the crankshaft by a set of splines on the top of the drive shaft. Now this allows for a positive connection to the crankshaft and easy removal of the gearcase or power head. The rotating motion of the crank is transferred down the drive shaft to the pinion gear. The pinion gear is splined to the drive shaft and rotates constantly with the operation of the motor. The pinion drives a set of gears which revolve freely in opposite directions on the propeller shaft. The drive shaft is supported in the gearcase by 3 bearings. Bearings here in the drive shaft bearing housing and here in the gearcase housing hold the drive shaft in position. The thrust bearing just below the drive shaft bearing housing supports the vertical thrust of the pinion. The propeller shaft is supported on the front by the forward gear and shift housing assembly. It is supported on the rear by the propeller shaft bearing housing. The propeller shaft bearing housing also supports the reverse gear. Both of these bearing housings are important sealing areas and have O-rings and back-to-back seals located within them to keep the water from leaking into or oil from leaking out of the gearcase. A clutch dog is splined to the propeller shaft between the 2 gears. It slides on the shaft to engage either gear. The clutch dog and both gears have drive lugs that enable them to engage one another and turn as a unit. It is important that these lugs be sharp with square corners. If the lugs look shiny or rounded, it usually indicates that the unit has been shifted improperly. This can lead to the clutch dog jumping out of the gear. In standard rotation gearcases, the gear closest to the front of the gearcase housing is called the forward gear. When the clutch dog engages this gear, the propeller turns clockwise and pushes the boat forward. The gear closest to the propeller is called the reverse gear. When the clutch dog engages this gear, the propeller turns counterclockwise and the boat moves backward. The shift housing converts the vertical motion of the shift rod into a horizontal motion of the clutch dog, causing it to engage the forward or reverse gears. Let's review the shifting operation one more time before moving on. Pulling up on the shift rod causes the clutch dog to slide forward on the propeller shaft until its lugs engage forward gear. Power is transmitted from the pinion to the forward gear, then to the clutch dog, and finally to the propeller shaft and propeller. Pushing down on the shift rod causes the clutch dog to slide rearward on the propeller shaft until its lugs engage reverse gear. Because the reverse gear is rotating in the opposite direction, the propeller shaft and propeller will also turn in the opposite direction, causing the boat and motor to move rearward. It is important that the boat operator understands that the movement of the remote control handle must be quick and snappy when shifting into or out of gear. The operator must be positive and quick with his motion. If not, the clutch dog will ratchet or jump while attempting to engage the gear. This will damage both the clutch dog and the gear lugs. 40 horsepower and larger engines require precise location of the pinion to ensure durability under extreme torque loads. You must set the gear mesh whenever the drive shaft, gear set, thrust washer, thrust bearing, or drive shaft bearing housing are replaced. These components and gear case housings are machined to extremely close tolerances. Because of this, only the depth of the drive shaft must be controlled to allow for proper gear mesh between the gears. A universal drive shaft shim fixture, part number 393185, is available to shim the drive shafts on these models. The tool provides a convenient method of selecting the proper amount of shims required to position the pinion accurately in the gear case. It is important that the shims be properly located when assembling the gear case. The shims must always be located between the bearing housing and the thrust washer. When servicing gear case seals and bearings, bear in mind that special removal and installation tools are available. Failure to use the recommended seal or bearing removal tool may result in damage to the housing. In many instances, proper installation of the part can only be assured by using the correct installation tool. The service manual specifies what tools are to be used for specific applications. Another important service tool sets the initial height of the shift rod. If this adjustment is overlooked, the gear case will not engage both forward and reverse gears completely. Partial engagement of either gear will cause premature gear case failure. OMC recommends changing the gear case lubricant after the first 20 hours of operation. Then check the lubricant every 50 hours of operation. Every 100 hours of operation, or at least once each season, completely drain and refill the gear case with OMC high-vis lubricant. Anytime a gear case has been reassembled, or if the gear case displays evidence of leakage, it should be checked for pressure and vacuum. Stevens Instrument Company makes available a gear case pressure and vacuum tester. The pressure tester determines if oil can leak out of the gear case. The vacuum tester determines if water can leak into the gear case. The engine's power is transferred from the power head to the gear case through the drive shaft and crankshaft splines. This area will see extreme loads that create high temperatures capable of breaking down an ordinary grease. Before installing the gear case, you should coat the drive shaft splines liberally with OMC Moly Lube. Because of its high load carrying capabilities and ability to stand up under high temperatures, OMC Moly Lube is the only grease recommended for outboard drive shaft splines. Before you install a propeller onto the propeller shaft, the shaft and inner taper of the large propeller thrust bushing should be coated with Triple Guard grease. Triple Guard is a waterproof anti-corrosion grease that performs very well in this application. Once a season, the propeller should be removed, the propeller shaft cleaned, and OMC Triple Guard grease applied. In addition to their load handling and shifting responsibilities, the gear cases on all Evinrude and Johnson outboards perform several other functions. The water pump is attached to the top of the gear case housing. The housing incorporates water pickups to feed the pump. The pump circulates the water through the outboard to cool the power head. Most of the water leaves the outboard through these holes above the anti-ventilation plate. Most larger gear cases are equipped with a trim tab. When correctly adjusted, the trim tab offsets the propeller torque. This reduces the effort required to steer the boat. New boats often require adjustments to the trim tab. Changing propeller pitch or type can also call for changes to the trim tab setting. The adjustment procedure is described in the service manual, but bear in mind that it requires an on-the-water test run. When servicing a customer's gear case, make a mark on the trim tab and gear case before you remove it. This assures it can be returned to the same position after service. Most trim tabs also include a water pickup to cool the propeller hub. Water enters here and travels through a passage in the gear case to the exhaust cavity. Then it flows out of the gear case and over the propeller hub with the exhaust gases. Most OMC outboards are equipped with at least one sacrificial anode to protect the engine from galvanic corrosion. Some larger engines have several anodes located on the midsection and gear case. The anode is always a less noble alloy than the aluminum alloy of the gear case housing. This allows the anode to erode away in salt or brackish water instead of the gear case housing. Erosion or disintegration in the salt or brackish water indicates the anodes are performing their function. The anode should be inspected or replaced at regular intervals or corrosion of the engine will increase. Any anode that has been reduced to 2/3 its original size must be replaced. For the anodes to function properly, they must make an electrical connection to the motor and the water. If you suspect an anode is not functioning, use an ohm meter to check for continuity between the anode and its mounting surface. Proper gear case service and maintenance procedures will ensure the outboard's performance and durability. Take care to service your customer's outboard properly, and they can expect many seasons of boating pleasure.